Hello everybody. So the market is in full casino mode. And the question of this video is, should we leave for the summer? Not leave the markets. I don't believe in leaving the markets. The markets are an incredible wealth building machine. But should we just shut down the apps, go on vacation, and leave for the summer, and maybe shut down the apps until the 2030s? Because this volatility has been just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I just cannot fathom what happened today. I mean, this is just incredible. And maybe closing the trading apps, like I said, is the better option. So what's going on? So green at night, red during the day is the feeling that I get from this. We were set for an opening well over 2% on the Nasdaq. Actually, at one point, the futures were saying we're going to open 3% up. CNBC was reporting this early in the morning. This is a screenshot I made early in the morning. And of course, 30 minutes after open, we're down 2% on the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq did an insane whiplash between before hours trading, pre-market hours, and market hours trading. And this is just absolutely insane. I cannot fathom what's happening. It's like Nvidia's down 1.6%, actually 2% on supposedly the AI hardware trade. Nvidia's roughly at the same level it was at the start of the year. Nvidia's down from late 2025 and where it was trading at late 2025. As far as I'm concerned, Nvidia is still the absolute leader of AI hardware, leader in the semi space, and it is cheap in my spreadsheet. Nvidia is only up something like 25% or something like that in a year. It is cheap for my spreadsheet. The stock market is just picking stocks to beat up, and it has decided now that it will beat up Micron. And I guess yesterday it was beating up Wendy's, a fast food company. The market has gone crazy, and it's selling pristine assets, arguably pristine assets like Amazon or Apple. It's selling these to beat up other stocks. It makes very little sense. Additionally, we have good news. The inflation met expectation. The core inflation number was in line with market expectations. The core inflation number, when it came out, it didn't do anything to the futures. It didn't cause the drop. Inflation was in line with expectation. We all knew it was going to be bad. Inflation was bad as expected. It was not worse than expected. Also, on the inflation news, the 10-year is dropping. It's down 0.4%. This is a big move for the 10-year. We are getting close to 4% again on the 10-year. This is a big good news for the rates dropping, the Fed potentially not doing a hike, market rates dropping, government getting financing cheaper. And we have oil. Oil is firmly dropping. Oil didn't really bounce back. Like, sure, we're at $71. We were in the high $69 yesterday. Oil seems to be trading between 69 and 71. It hasn't really bounced back, and this is the oil chart. We are not too far. I mean, we're only $10 away before, not even $10. What is it? $5, $6. We're only $6 more on oil than we were before the Mideast madness, as I'm gonna call it, the crazy dark gray swan we got in the Middle East. Oil is only $6 from where it was before any of that started. So oil dropped, which is very bullish for inflation, and the market is acting this crazy, and the index is down. And look at some of the specific stocks that I want to point out, like Apple down 6%. You know why Apple is down? Apple is down because they're raising their prices on some of their computers and tablets by a few $100. This is bullish. People who have Apple and the Apple ecosystem, they're not going to drop Apple. They're going to keep buying in the Apple ecosystem. They're going to pay the extra $200. To me, this is not bearish at all. Oh, wait, perhaps the drop in Apple stock has nothing to do with them raising their prices. Perhaps the drop in Apple stock has everything to do with we sell all of the elite companies, and we're going to buy the shiny new thing. And the shiny new thing is Micron. We're going to chase Micron. So the market is chasing Micron, and all of my favorite stocks, all of many people's favorite stocks are down 6-7%. If you're a little riskier stocks, maybe down 8-10%. It's par for the course right now. HIMS is down 6%. I don't know why. Apple's down 6%. I don't know why. Right? Zeta was down more than 5% after announcing the one of the biggest blockbuster partnerships with Palantir. They were down 5% this morning. Palantir is way down since the start of the year. Granted, Palantir was a very expensive company. That's true. I'm not saying the drop in Palantir is not warranted. I'm saying there's equally expensive companies that are pumping like crazy right now. It makes very little sense. If AI is the next big thing, if AI is a huge deal, Palantir perhaps shouldn't be dropping as much as it is dropping right now. It makes no sense. The stocks are not trading on fundamentals anymore. This makes investing very tough in the 2020s, which is why I'm like, maybe going away for the summer is not such a bad idea, and enjoying time, and time of course being your most valuable resource. Like I said, Nvidia at 195. This is ridiculous. This is just ridiculous in my view. That's just me. Anyways, moving on. I'm not the only one noticing the nonsensical volatility. So in this channel, I like Edem Kobesi. I follow his stuff. A lot of people follow his stuff. This guy's good. Anyways, love the charts, right? Love his tweets. The tweets. Look. This is you can't make this up. This is the Nasdaq way up in after market hours and in pre-market hours. Way up. Everything's good. Market opens. It dumps. And this pattern is the same for Bitcoin. Bitcoin being unfortunately correlated with the Nasdaq risk assets. That's just the way it is. If you look at Bitcoin, I can't make this chart up. I'll show you this chart. I cannot make this chart up. And let me just widen the comment of Kobesi here. Like, I can't make this is literally, so my time, right, central time, this is insane. So 3 p.m. central time, the market closes, the US market closes. 3 p.m. marks a stark move up in Bitcoin. Bitcoin way up when the markets close. Okay, Bitcoin up the whole time. 8:30 central time. 8:30 is when the market opened. 8:30 dumps in 30 minutes. We go back to an all-time low. Like, I'm sorry. I don't mean to talk about patterns here, but this is very uncanny that we go right up to the upside like crazy at 3 p.m. and 8:30 we dump like crazy. This is not a normal move. This is a casino type move. This makes very little sense. And Kobesi later here saying, today, if that was 2 hours ago, saying the reality is that uncertainty in the market is arguably at some of the highest levels in history. Yes, absolutely. This is what I said on 1010. Do you remember the crash on 1010? If you follow me on Patreon, you know I was buying regularly, and when I stopped buying, I was like, this is ridiculous. The stocks have stopped following fundamentals since 1010. This is still the case right now. The fundamental news, like, take Zeta. Like, Zeta is a clear example. That partnership with Palantir, we are cheaper than that huge partnership with Palantir. They had the most epic news on their business at Zeta, and it's down from that day. Like it makes very, very, very little sense. Apple raising prices by a few $100 is bullish. People are addicted to Apple products. They will pay a few $100. And the market is dumping Apple just like it's dumping everything else. Just like it's dumping Bitcoin. Everything's dumping because they are chasing Micron. And believe me, Micron, I've analyzed on Patreon a little bit, the spreadsheet. It's a tad more expensive than Nvidia. It's not as expensive as Nvidia. It's more expensive than Nvidia in the way I value stocks. It's a little more expensive than Nvidia. It's not that expensive. Micron is not that expensive, but it's a little more expensive than Nvidia. At least in the way I value stocks. But I much prefer Nvidia because Nvidia is the absolute leader of AI. They're like number one. They are number one. Like who's to know? Like sure. And I listened to the Micron call yesterday. It was an amazing call. They're signing long-term contracts left and right with auto manufacturers, all sorts of companies are now treating memory as a core part of their business. I listened to the call. It was great. Their earnings are great. But this is not Nvidia. This is not the number one company in the space. And memory, we still don't know where the models are going to evolve. Like, how much memory are we really going to need? We don't know exactly how that's going to evolve just yet. I happen to believe, I've said that before, that maybe the algorithms will change. Maybe AI will change and we'll be using a little less memory, or maybe we'll embed the memory in another part of a compute stack. There's more risk, in my view, investing in specifically memory as opposed to investing in everything in AI, which is Nvidia. Nvidia is the everything AI company. You even get $2 billion exposure to I don't know how many dozens of separate AI companies that Nvidia has invested in, like Marvel, like Nebius, like all of these other companies. You get exposure to that for Nvidia. Micron is not the behemoth that Nvidia is, so that's why I prefer Nvidia, because Nvidia is cheaper. But don't get me wrong, Micron is not that expensive. I see it in the spreadsheet. It's just that it's at this point the stock went up so far so fast. People are chasing. This is a chase. And we're selling off everything else to chase Micron. At least that is what I think. And let me conclude this video with more existential commentary about the nature of social media and the annoyance of social media. This is Andrej Karpathy, of course, the big FSD engineer of Tesla, right? Who left Tesla to go on other ventures, and he tweeted this today. He said, "I've been on Twitter for almost 2 decades, and now I can say with confidence that it has never been this toxic and Reddit-like. Twitter has never been this toxic and Reddit-like. I think the algo encourages it, and to get railed, I guess, or I don't know what that means. Reeled. I don't know. I don't speak slang. Main reason why he's been posting less, and this was in response to a post he had posted about his opinion of AI, and people literally calling him, names and stuff because they disagree with his opinion of AI. And Elon Musk replying 11 hours ago, yeah, we agree. We need a complete algorithm change. I think the toxicity on X, on social media, and even on YouTube, that toxicity is not helping stock prices. It's not helping good analysis. And this, and of course, on this channel, I love strategy stock, and my portfolio is in pain right now. It's a lot of pain in my portfolio right now. And I've been posting about, my thoughts and stuff on strategy on the Patreon a little more, because strategy is way down, right? Strategy in a month is down 46%, in a month. The strategy performance, it really reminds me of the HIMS performance this February. This is why this is so annoying for me, because HIMS in February, from January 29, 2026 to February 27, 2026, went down nearly 52%. So it went down 8% more than strategy, right? HIMS had a value of despair that was 8% worse than what strategy feels right now. And the social media sentiment against HIMS was absolutely, epically, unjustifiably insane. And I remember I made that video, my decision for HIMS, what I'm doing with HIMS, and I decided to stick with HIMS. And that I made that video when HIMS was like 15 or 16 bucks or something like that. And next thing you know, I make the video, I decide to stick with HIMS, followed the company for, 3-4 years. HIMS, I got HIMS at like $7 or something. $6, depending on which video you look at. The stock is back at $30. Actually, 35. We're back at 35. The stock is still very cheap in my view at 30 or 35. But it gained everything back in a matter of months. That volatility is nonsensical. Like, why? It had no business dropping back to 15. And so, of course, if I tell you my thoughts about strategy and Bitcoin, which my thoughts are, it has no business being this cheap. That's my honest take. No financial advice, but my honest take is that it has no business being this cheap. It could go down another 10%. And if it goes down another 10%, social is going to go absolutely insane and crazy. And so, it's extremely, extremely annoying. And so what's the solution to this insane volatility? If you own any stock that you've analyzed and you've worked really hard picking, the odds are you're going to get, a minus 10%, minus 15% punch. You're going to get those often. These are the odds. And so what's the solution to actually not being exposed to those odds? Well, the longer I think about that, the longer I've said, I've called the Nasdaq the best index. Buying the Nasdaq. It's true that if you would have bought the Nasdaq, you would have been less exposed, right? You would have been less exposed to these issues if you had just bought the index and didn't manage a portfolio, which incidentally, my channel wouldn't exist because I'm a stock picker. I like to pick stocks. I like to analyze stocks. But I will remind you that even the indices are not immune. And if the 2020s started awfully, and you may remember Black Monday of March 16, 2020, and the Nasdaq between February 19, 2020 and March 23, 2020, the Nasdaq dropped 30%. So even with the indices, even with the Nasdaq, you are still exposed. That's the nature of the markets. And so going back to the solution is maybe to just take a vacation and leave and not give your attention and energy to this crazy Mr. Market, which is absolutely crazy right now. It makes absolutely no sense. So maybe a forest walk video advice is coming. Forest walk. Anyways, this is not financial advice. This is not investment advice. This is only entertainment. I'm hoping you were entertained. Please like, please subscribe, follow me on Patreon, follow me on X. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.